Well, I'd say that America needs to start looking to its values. It needs to start remembering who the victim is here in this conflict.
True.
Russia.
He invited them to do a minor incursion. He basically invited them to attack Ukraine. He said that to Putin. And you know what? And now 300.
Oh, that's a new talking point. I'm sorry. Was there an update? What was the Biden invitation to attack Ukraine?
Because you know we are a free country, we were free and we remain free. We have chosen to fight because we were brutally attacked by our neighbor who just came in to torture, to rape, to kill, and we decided that we will not capitulate, we will stand for ourselves. And the world is watching, and the only thing that we are asking is to support us that we can end this war. We are capable of doing that. We were so clear.
You can't win the war. Hold on, can you win this war?
Absolutely. If you give us enough of the weapons and supplies, we can. We have gotten, we are talking about the money, right? So why is the pressure?
Is she about to say, why is the president trying to steal resources from Ukraine? Please say it.
Being pushed on Ukraine and not on Russian frozen assets. But we haven't heard any real answer to only one question that our nation, that wants peace most of the world, is how do you make sure that Putin would not attack us again? And there is no answer we didn't hear.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood. When she said, what if we lose? She means what if Ukraine loses? That's what she's talking about. I'm so sorry. I understand.
It does mean we have limited resources and we should be spending them where they matter. Donald Trump is not an isolationist. He has no problem fighting American enemies. He is just being strategic about who those are and who is.
Somebody said, didn't Russia invade Crimea by this point? Russia invaded Crimea in 2014. This is a 2012 election debate. They would have invaded Georgia by now, I think, right?
Potential ally against people who are actually trying to destroy us, like China.
Okay, I want to give the final word on this part of the debate to Kira, because you and Mace will be leaving us, and we're going to continue with some American-related stuff afterwards, not to do with the war. So, Kira, just to sum up for me, it's obviously a crucial stage of this war. What do you hope will happen now in the next few weeks?
Piers, I think we have been talking a lot about what would happen if the war ends or if Ukraine wins, and we have not been talking enough about what would happen if we lose. What would it mean to other enemies of the United States? Would it mean that Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran stop producing weapons and supplies and support other authoritarian regimes that will be raising their heads, creating much more threats everywhere in the world? We are talking about morals, we are talking about money, but we haven't heard any real answer to only one question that our nation, that wants peace most of the world, is how do you make sure that Putin would not attack us again? And there is no answer. We didn't hear it from Donald Trump, from anyone here on this debate. Because
Vinny's loaded up. Oh shit, that blow's hitting right now. And he's like, he said they're going to put American factories there. They'll never attack with American factories. He's ready for it. He's ready for it.
He knows, because there are many hopes, but there is no actual way of doing that. And right now, the only way that worked for us was fighting Putin. Because we have been in this ceasefire deal with him since 2014. And I can tell you one thing. There was not a single day when Russia would honor this deal. And the world would look at that and say, yeah, sorry, it's so upsetting. So how this time will be different? And when we know the answer, then we can talk more about how to achieve that. But right now, we do not see even a strategy of how to make sure that right now, in a year, in 2 years, in 4 years, Russia would not attack us again with the whole strength. And not only us, but other European countries. And that is the key question.
I completely agree with you. I wouldn't trust Putin as far as I could throw him. He made it crystal clear when he attacked Crimea and took that.
Relevant meme with your conversation with a woman. Oh God, I hate this person. She's the worst type of human being.
Wait, you're okay with that? I'm a leftist.
Wait, do you support Kamala Harris in this upcoming election?
I'm still making up my mind. Like, there are definitely things that could change.
You're supporting Donald Trump, 100%.
No, I haven't. I really am still.
There's no reasonable person that is undecided at this point. It's impossible. By the way, she publicly declared her support for Donald Trump. Pretty sure shortly thereafter, but.
And he's attacked now again and taken 20% of mainland Ukraine. He will not stop. And anyone who thinks he will is living in cloud cuckoo land. Well, thank you to Mesa and to you, Kira, for joining us about that debate about Ukraine. We're going to let you two both go. Now we're going to move on to some other topics. Andrew Tate appeared on the PBD podcast this week talking about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, making it clear he and his brother are out of the country. They've gone straight to America. There have been calls from the UK. Andrew Tate appeared on the PBD podcast this week talking about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, making it clear he and his brother Tristan aren't welcome in his state. Here's what Tate had to say in response.
Joe Biden was a doormat.
What is your response to what appeared to be a clear olive branch from President Trump to President Zelensky last night?
Hello, Piers, and thank you so much for having me. Well, we were surprised to see what we have seen today when America stopped the intelligence provision to Ukraine after President Trump was so clearly saying that the relations are getting warmer, right? One has to wonder, was it all planned beforehand and just executed right now? And the question is, why is pressure being put on Ukraine and not on Russia? Who is the aggressor here? And how many people are being sentenced to death right now by this decision of pulling the intelligence, of pulling the aid?
Yeah, I mean, Rob Smith, first of all, thank you for your service. Obviously, you're a decorated Iraq veteran. I have great respect for that. What people seem a bit baffled by, me included, is that you can be putting pressure on Ukraine to come and do a peace deal for obvious reasons that make a lot of sense. I actually think that Trump's overview of where the war is completely accurate. I think he genuinely wants to forge peace here. What people have been taking...
You don't, by the way, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but Ukraine is losing. You don't need to put pressure on Ukraine. They're losing the war. They're in the position where, it's like, okay, well, fuck, the pressure needs to be put on Russia to make concessions. That's where the pressure needs to be. What is this weird debate strategy where you have to ultra pressure the person who's on the losing end of the deal? What?
backed by is that he's quite happy to call Zelensky a dictator and then withdraw that and keep attacking him and humiliating him in the Oval Office and so on, whilst maintaining a position of never appearing to criticize Vladimir Putin at all, despite the fact that it was Putin, of course, and his Russian forces who invaded 3 years ago.
True. Well, as a person who used to be in the military, get ready to get the worst political takes of all fucking time, because it is a known law in the United States of America that if you go from military to political commentary, you are guaranteed to give the most brain-dead dog shit takes imaginable. Let's go! Let's go!
Despite the fact that it was Putin, of course, and his Russian forces who invaded 3 years ago.
Well, I will say this, first of all, thanks for having me, Piers. First of all, it's not probably a good choice to criticize and to be really hard on the person that has basically the upper hand between Ukraine and Russia, which is Putin, right? So that's first of all. And second of all, I think to be really hard on the person. I will say this, first of all, thanks for having me, Piers. First of all, it's not probably a good choice to criticize and to be really hard on the person that has basically the upper hand between Ukraine and Russia, which is Putin, right? So
it's just like, it's because they all got this beamed into their head from the cricket Elon Musk micro chippers that are put in the back of their neck or whatever. They get like it's beamed in and it's like, oh, okay. So two sides are negotiating a deal and one side is like really, low in this deal. They don't have very much leverage. So can you go in there and help them out? Yeah, let me go in there and help them out as a huge guy who's bigger than both the people involved. And I'm going to do that by shitting on the smaller guy. Whoa. Well, that's kind of weird. I feel like you would have went into those negotiations probably to like help the smaller guy because you're like a really big dude. So you could ensure like a more equitable, arrangement to end things. I don't know why you're going to shit on the smaller dude because he's already a smaller dude. It doesn't really make much sense, but okay.
So that's first of all. And second of all, I think that what people need to understand is that the people that were quote unquote taken aback by Trump's behavior towards Zelensky, by Trump's behavior towards the Ukraine, seem to be political commentators, seem to be people that were in support of just never ending this war, okay? I am somebody that voted for Trump and I voted for this. I voted for strong leadership. I voted for somebody to hold Zelensky accountable. I voted for somebody to stop this endless sea of
Will he say a single negative thing about Putin? Hold Zelensky out. Let's wait for it. Here we go.
American taxpayer dollars that have been going to Ukraine for the past 3 years to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. The only people that are surprised by this behavior are the people that have become used to weak leadership in this country. The people who have become used to somebody like former President Biden, and a lot of the people that were advising him being run all over by Zelensky, by the people of Ukraine, by the people that supported this nonstop funding of American tax dollars to this country. President Trump has said very strongly and has sent very strong signals through his words and through his actions that not only does he want this war to end, but that we will not continue to send endless amounts of American taxpayer dollars to this country.
Okay, before I go
nothing. Strange. Huh. Weird.
To Mesa to respond, though, do you, Rob Smith, think Vladimir Putin's a dictator?
Oh, okay. We're back. Hold on. Whoo.
I do, personally, yes.
Oh, he did it. He said a mean thing about Putin. Good job. A+. It just took a directly confrontational question about being a dictator. There you go. He should have asked, is he responsible for the invasion of Ukraine next? But we'll see.
Okay. Well, I think that's an important thing to say. I think that lost in all this is the fact that obviously Putin is a dictator.
Oh, but he's like, wait a second. Fuck, am I going to get in trouble for just saying a mean thing about Putin without either qualifying it by saying a nice thing about Putin as well, or qualifying it by saying Zelensky or the United States is just as bad? He's like, do I need to interject there? The Starlink connection is a little delayed right now, but he might be getting a signal. Hold on.
And Piers, can I just make it? Yeah. I just want to make it clear that number one, I do think that Putin is a dictator. I do think that Russia is very aggressive. I do not agree with a lot of this. I am in no way on the side of Russia at all. I know that that's a talking point, and I'm not saying you did this, Piers, but I know that a lot of Democrats that want this forever aid to go to Ukraine like to say that anybody that is critical of nonstop U.S. taxpayer dollars going to Ukraine is.
No, I get that, and I don't disagree with Trump on that. Yeah, I think the war is.
Okay, geez, just don't be mean to Putin without also you got to bring in Ukraine or something. Jesus.
Is that a terrible virtual stalemate where for 8-9 months now all that's happened is both sides killing vast numbers of the other side in rolling open flat fields, and this is reminiscent of World War I to many military eyes. Let me bring in Mesa Gifford. You're a British veteran and you've been in the Ukrainian army as well. What do you say to Rob Smith, also a fellow veteran who has a strong view in the way he's articulated? What's your response to that?
I want to push more on the historical. This is reminiscent of World War I. So should the West have given up? Because you know that we won that war, right? You know that trench warfare happened. in World War I, but that like Germany and the Ottoman Empire, these guys still lost, right? You know that, right? Like, I want to hear them follow through a little bit more with the historical implications. Okay, you're bringing up that this is trench warfare like World War I. Oh, wow. Okay, so should we not have done that warfare at all then? Should we have just given up as soon as it happened? Like, what do you mean when you make that comparison?
Well, I'd say that America needs to start looking to its values. It needs to start remembering who the victim is here in this conflict.
True.
Russia brutally invaded a European sovereign nation on the edge of Europe, a democracy, a country that ranks far higher on the freedom indexes than Russia, and they are brutalizing this beautiful country. I was on the front line, particularly in the south and around Kherson. I fought with the 131st Separate Reconnaissance Battalion, and I saw with my own eyes the extraordinary bravery of the Ukrainian people who are fighting not only for their homes, but for their lives against a genocide.
Wait, who is this guy? We like him, whoever he is. British veteran of the Ukrainian army, Macer Gifford? Is that who it is?
Regime that is determined to take all of Ukraine. And the big problem we've got here is Donald Trump he's come in to the White House with a sledgehammer, and he is absolutely trashing a political system, a world system that America has benefited from and actually built itself after the Second World War. We are entering a very dangerous phase of international relations, and I truly hope Donald Trump sees sense and starts to remember exactly the foundational values that America was built on.
Okay, Vinny, let me
what I'd like to say as an American is that we certainly don't need any lectures from people that have been taking hundreds of billions of dollars of our taxpayer dollars like welfare queens, telling us that we need to take a look at what our values are. That is
welfare queen. Man, we're really hitting. Where did that welfare queen's talking point come from? This would be a good Twitter analysis. That was a talking point that was beamed into all of the NPC heads. The programming changed. This is probably why the NVIDIA stock was worth so much. I think these people all got implanted with whatever the communication system is that beams in. That welfare queen talking point it's a big one now.
Okay, Vinny, let me
what I'd like to say as an American is that we certainly don't need any lectures from people that have been taking hundreds of billions of dollars of our taxpayer dollars like welfare queens, telling us that we need to take a look at what our values are. That is one thing that America does not need.
British.
And
I also, this guy's British as well. I don't know if you could tell by the way that he was speaking. To be fair, I mixed him up with Australian, so, but neither of those are Ukrainian. Also, way to not respond at all to what was said and to just like pivot with some feigned moral outrage. Good job.
I appreciate the fact that we have it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What we don't need is we don't need other people. We don't need other people lecturing us about what our values are. That's the first thing that we don't need. Thank you.
$300 billion of money has been given over to Ukraine, when in reality,
don't need lectures from you. And also don't need lectures
Don't talk over each other. All right, don't talk over each other. You made your point, Rob. Let me respond.
Because the trouble is, we get a lot of sort of self-righteousness. We're getting a lot of ignorance.
Thank you. True. Yeah. Feigned outrage. Feigned moral outrage. Self-righteousness. True.
Actually, from the Trump sort of administration at the moment. We've got to get a grip on reality. The reality is the US has not given $300 billion that Donald Trump has claimed. It's given something much more close to sort of $119 billion. Europe as a whole.
Yeah, why did you lie? Why did you lie about that? Why did you lie about that? You fucking retard. You retarded fucking dipshit. I wonder why you lied about that.
Has given far more, actually not far more, but more than the United States in regards to aid.
I was going to be. They have the NPCs also have like programmed like facial expressions. They were demoing this chip a long time ago. It was like the Neuralink version 0.7 or whatever. There was a time when it famously short-circuited in the middle of a debate when Trump was. Oh wait, fuck, where was it? It was this one. No, wait. What happened to the internet? No. Was it this? Oh, it was this. It wasn't during a debate. My bad. Jesus, the fuck is this? No, it's not. Whatever, close enough. Is it the first one? His face looks too normal here. No, it is this one. Fuck me. The first known example of the facial expression chip going live. This guy shipped it to production on Friday, and then he got fired and started working for CrowdStrike. This guy got the same programming though, but it's been refined now, so it's not as extreme.
Europe as a whole has given far more, actually not far more, but more than the United States in regards to aid to Ukraine. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to start busting some myths, and we actually need to start spitting some facts. Another big problem that we've got, and that I think is absolutely reprehensible.
Can we get a fact check? Can we get a fact check on this fact that's literally not debated by any credible person on the entire fucking planet? And then so now we have to waste time debating this fact that's not really debated. No, it's not debatable. There is no source for this claim other than literally Donald Trump. That's it. But yeah, can we get a fact check on that? Why? Even if we get a fact check, you're going to ask where it came from, and then you're not going to believe it.
So you're basically bringing up numbers here. I would like to know where these numbers are coming from.
Where do these numbers come from? Why were you able to bring up a number with no citation?
down.
Because you can't
Well,
just
I can
say,
Rob, I interviewed
Oh, good job. We got Piers coming in here with the facts. Thank you.
President Zelensky myself 2 weeks ago and crunched these numbers with him. And what is clear is they've not even received nearly half the money that has been awarded to them from Congress. But the amount that's been...
Oh! Now remember, hold on. There was a quick update. They patched this, okay? Trump patched this in the middle of one of his speeches. It's not the U.S. aid that was given to them by the U.S. It's that the U.S. aid promised in totality and not yet paid by the U.S. So you just say the U.S. aid that is promised by the U.S. is greater than what Europe has currently paid out. That's the new talking point. I don't know if he got the upgrade in time, though. Let's see if he's gotten the upgrade. Hold on.
Awarded from Congress is actually about half the amount Donald Trump keeps saying. It's nearer like 160, 170 billion, not 350 billion.
With that?
Yeah.
I want to make a point with that, Piers. And one thing when it comes to the amount of money that has been sent over to the Ukraine, there has been no oversight with this. It was a basically lawless...
Oh, he says the Ukraine, too. Nice. All of those Kremlin talking points. Get all of those. And no oversight? Really? The United States is just shipping money and military weapons and everything overseas, doing nothing at all with it at all? Just being shipped off into no man's land? Okay. That's cool. Source on that? Also, by the way, you saw what just happened, right? This is the bad faith dance, okay? Where they're constantly stepping on your feet because they don't actually care what the next move is, right? They're just trying to fuck with you, all right? He said, can you source me on that? And Piers said, oh, yeah. I talked to the president of the country, and then we looked at the numbers together, right? It was probably one of the most authoritative sources that you could have on this. And he goes, okay, well, check this out. Whoa. Check this out, liberal. Pivots to a whole new argument that's not related.
By administration that was printing money and sending it over. There's no oversight to this.
Well, again, hang on, again.
From one lie to the next. Feels good.
Hang on, Zelensky made it very clear to me that it has all been audited, and he's very happy.
We got a double fact check. Oh, we're getting pressed. This guy's getting pressed. Back's against the wall. Okay, don't worry. Hold on. We can always just say, I need to look into it later. Okay, hold on. Damn, he double fact checked. This motherfucker double fact checked me. Okay. Dimitri told me that we were both on the same fucking payroll here. Okay. Double fact check. What are we going to say? Okay. I don't believe it. We can just say, I don't believe it, or I need to look into it. Just fucking, we always have that out, okay? I don't believe it, or we need to look into it.
Anyone who wants to do another audit of it, to come forward and do that. So let's be clear. As I think Mesa made a very good point there is a lot of bullshit swirling around about this war. A lot of figures.
Oh, he's got it. He's like, another audit? Why? Because the first one was bullshit? And then if they do another audit, it's good. It's like, we can do another one if you want. You want to do another one? Why? Because the first two were bullshit? The last thing we want is more, government bureaucracy? Oh, them auditing themselves. We have that talking about too. You mean the Ukrainians audited themselves and they found nothing wrong?
I want to bring in the other guest. Hang on. I'll come back to you. I want to bring in Vinny. Vinny's been waiting.
Oh, okay. No more pressing. No more pressure. All right, we're good.
Usually patiently, Vinny, I have to say. So congratulations for your rare outburst of patience. Vinny, I want to play a clip to you, and I want to see how comfortable you feel when you hear the words of Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov.
Matt donated $50. Been watching for 7 years, but just started watching live. Wanted to say thanks. The JonTron debate pulled me out of the alt-right pipeline, and I work professionally for Dem political campaigns. Cool. Tell them to be meaner.
Listen to him.
Trump,
he's a pragmatist. His slogan is common sense, of course, and everybody already sees that. A shift to a different way of doing things. But the goal is still MAGA.
Make America great again.
Make America great again. He's got a new cap now. Everything that Trump...
they even have it in Russian. They even say that. That's so cute. Nice.
Promised, he did. You see? This gives politics a lively human character.
What's your response to that?
Hey, guess what? Common sense, Piers. The guy sounds like he's making some sense. Opposed to Joe Biden, because Piers, let me first of all, thank you for your service, Rob. I love you to death, and for the other gentleman, anybody that's serving the country better as well. But let's get back to brass tacks. But this is all because of this last administration, and there's a contrast. Joe Biden was a doormat.
He was a doormat. Remember, this election wouldn't have happened under Donald Trump. The world respected Donald Trump.
Weak, spineless, and everybody, including Ukraine, including everybody, walked all over us, okay? Besides Trump is a matador, okay? He's strong, and he's America first, and he doesn't play no games. And you know what, Piers, just really fast, I want to get to why. And I keep took notes, Piers, why is all this happening? Why are we where we are?
Let's do a quick history. Okay. Well, let's see. We've got, do we bingo card this? No. Let's just think about it. We have NATO expansion. We've got, in 2014, the U.S.-backed coup. And then we have weakness from Biden in general. Weakness from Biden, 2014 coup. And, weakness from Biden in 2014 coup, NATO expansion. Let's go with those three. Yeah, let's go with those three.
NATO, why was NATO trying to expand the border when they promised not to...
Expand. Do the quote now. 1 inch eastward. Do that quote. Do the Baker quote out of context.
All the way to Russia's border. Okay, why did Joe Biden invite Russia and you guys to look at the clip?
Oh, shit. invite Russia into Ukraine, or invite Russia into NATO and invite Ukraine into NATO, also to kind of not.
He invited them to do a minor incursion. He basically invited them to attack Ukraine. He said that to Putin. And you know what? And now 300.
Oh, that's a new talking point. I'm sorry. Was there an update? What was the Biden invitation to attack Ukraine? Oh, I haven't downloaded that update yet. My bad. Okay. New talking points.
Them to do a minor incursion. He basically invited them to attack Ukraine. He said that to Putin. And you know what? And now $350 million. You guys can fact check the numbers. I'm an American, okay? And I'm a veteran as well. I don't want $1. Here's one going to any country when we have United States veterans. Me and Rob are the fortunate ones that are dying in the streets, that are homeless. I go to VAs, of veteran hospitals. Piers, it will make you cry the type of service that my brothers and sisters go through that served and fought in our.
VA had higher ratings under Biden than it did under Trump, by the way. Also, what do they think about the VA cuts that are coming up? Trump administration plans to cut 80,000 employees from Veterans Affairs, according to internal memo. Now it's just an internal memo. Maybe they won't actually do that.
Are dying for this freaking country, right? And how many people have died in this pointless freaking war? Because you know what? Up here's this whole why. War is a racket, okay? All of this is just all about the money. And I want to know, what's the goal, Piers? Why are these people, these warmongers, they don't give a shit about Ukraine. They're just trying to mess with who.
If it's, then who invaded? Hello?
Because they want war with Putin. You know why? Which country has the most natural resources and minerals on the planet, Piers? You want to take a guess? Take a wild guess.
Where's Russia?
Russia, $75 trillion. It's all about the money. None of these people give a shit about the Ukrainian soldiers.
Wait,
Piers,
what?
Putin, because they want war with Putin. You know why? Which country has the most natural resources and minerals on the planet, Piers? You want to take a guess? Take a wild guess.
Where's Russia?
Russia, $75 trillion.
What does that have to do with anything? Are we going to steal resources from Russia? Or what? What?
It's all about the money. None of these people give a shit about the Ukrainian soldiers. Piers, zero. And you guys want to talk about freedom? What's the conscription that's happening in Ukraine? I've seen.
Oh my God, today. So we had no freedom. That's fine if you want to say that, conscription in Ukraine, okay? But then can you just say this? America had no freedom in World War II. We agree with that, right? We had no freedom, right? Be honest about it.
In the videos, they run up to men, sons, fathers, uncles. They grab them out of the street. They throw them in vans and they put them in the front lines. Who's a dictator, Piers? That's a dictator. Okay.
All right,
I'm not taking sides with Putin.
okay.
Oh, look at that. I love these stupid fucking smiles from these fucking retarded dipshits who spent way too much time.
Two things Piers can exist at the same time.
Quickly,
Putin's a bad guy, but this war is bullshit.
Okay, Betsy, I'll come to you in 1 second. I just want Kira to respond to what Vinny just said.
It's very painful, and I just want to defend my countrymen, brave men
the truth hurts, I'm sorry.
who are
The
fighting
truth
for.
If the truth hurt, this guy is going to be the softest, most unhurt person on the planet, because nobody would avoid pain or truth like this guy. Jesus.
Our freedom, because you know we are a free country, we were free and we remain free. We have chosen to fight because we were brutally attacked by our neighbor who just came in to torture, to rape, to kill, and we decided that we will not capitulate, we will stand for ourselves. And the world is watching, and the only thing that we are asking is to support us that we can end this war. We are capable of doing that. We were so
You
clear.
can't win the war. Hold on, can you win this war?
Absolutely, if you give us enough of the weapons and supplies, we can. We have gotten into the Kurd region. We have gotten into the Kurd region because Russia is unable to control their own territory. We were able to do that, and we will continue doing it because we are fighting for our own freedom, for our ability to define our own future.
Then you should be mad at people that want to push them to NATO.
Second, let me answer to what you have answered.
It's so un-American, but I understand it. Again, right? When you're getting paid in more rubles than you are in USD, it makes sense. But like, this rhetoric is just so unbelievable. We're the give me liberty or give me death crowd, right? We're the Second Amendment. We're the what is it? The tree of democracy has to be freshly watered with the blood of revolution or whatever bullshit. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The cucked attitude, the cucked out attitude that these low testosterone, TRT abusing, cokehead fucking on their knees for Trump and Putin, getting Eiffel Towered fucking losers are when it comes to this issue. It's so unbelievable to me.
Ask me, right? You want to hear the answer.
Yeah,
you're talking about the money, right? So why is the pressure?
Is she about to say, why is the president trying to steal resources from Ukraine? Please say it.
Being pushed on Ukraine and not on Russian frozen assets.
True.
Hear the answer.
You should be mad. Then you should be mad at people that want to push them to NATO.
Second, let me answer to what you have asked me, right? You want to hear the answer. You are talking about the money, right? So why is the pressure being pushed on Ukraine and not on Russian frozen assets? $300 billion right now in Belgium Euroclear. We are happy that Trump confiscates that and uses for whatever he needs. Why it has not been done? Why? If it's all about money. Why? I'm asking you, and you have no good answer to that.
That's what the deal's for. That's what they're going to negotiate on.
I actually agree.
Oh, you see how he shuts the immediately when Piers talks, he knows he doesn't have a good answer for that. You can always tell when somebody is like, when they're strong on their point is when they don't want to be cut off and they want to keep going. And when they're weak on their point is when somebody else starts talking, they're like, ooh, okay, go ahead.
It should be.
Look at it. He's like, his lips, you can always tell when he's up really hard. Remember when in Kenshin, when he's fighting Shishio or whatever, and he does that hit and this thing is so strong on his sword because they hit so fast that it pulls them in with the vacuum. That's what happened to this guy's lips. He closed his lips so fast and tight. There's a vacuum and he's like, they're going to be sucked into his face. That's how quickly he shut the fuck up because he was so fucking clueless and he knew he was totally fucking owned on that point.
Let me bring him back to you. You've been waiting very patiently, Patsy. Look, it's a very complex situation, this. You know, when Donald Trump said, I'll get it fixed in 24 hours, I didn't believe him. I don't think he probably believed that either. And I think he's inherited a horrible mess that he wants to try and resolve. Where do you think we are with this, and how achievable do you think it is that Trump gets peace? Actually, it could happen very quickly, it seems to me, if everyone is of the mindset he now thinks they are.
Thank you so much for having me, Piers. Thank you so much to Vinny and to Rob for your service to our country. And I have to say, I'm very humbled and moved by, the voice of Ukrainians who want to be free, who want sovereignty.
I'm so humbled and moved by you want to be, and that's why you guys should just give up completely. And if you give up completely, then you won't have any more war, and then you'll be free to be in your new borders in your new smaller country.
And want autonomy. Unfortunately, you are the much weaker party in a conflict with a country that has nuclear weapons and endless cannon fodder. And we, as the United States,
Russia does not have endless cannon fodder, but okay.
Can sympathize with what you are going through and also say we have our own national interests, which are not aligned with yours. We helped a lot. We tried.
What are not aligned with yours? What national interests aren't aligned with yours? Why don't we just divert the money? We can make everybody happy or miserable. Let's just divert the money that we give to Israel. We'll just send it to Ukraine instead. Let's just do that.
Our best, and it is now time to bring the bloodshed and the hemorrhaging of U.S. tax dollars, whether it's 150 billion or 300 billion, to a close. And I'll say another thing. Yes, Putin is an autocrat and a dictator and a murderer, and Russia has legitimate security concerns.
Oh, yes. Hit up that political realism. Yes. Only for Russia's side, though. Realism is only real on their side. It's moral on our side, and it's real on their side, okay? Don't ever forget that, all right? NATO expansion, NATO expansion, NATO expansion. Right on their borders.
Those can both be the case. We've gotten into the situation where we cannot admit that Russia is allowed to have any kind of legitimate concerns. You cannot end a war if you go into it against such a strong opponent with that point of view. I'll just make a few more quick points. I think from President Trump's point of view, he desperately wants this to end. He sees this correctly as a proxy war that the Ukraine cannot win by itself and cannot even...
The Ukraine, by both of these people. If you're Ukrainian, listen, you're fucking Eastern Europeans. You guys don't give a fuck anyway. You should start hurling racial slurs and all slurs, okay? If you're Ukrainian and they say the Ukraine, fucking let it rip, okay? N-bombs for the top. Guado, what was the one for Italians? Or Fredos or whatever? Is it even Italian? I don't know. And then whatever you got for, Jewish racial slur. She should just fucking let him rip. Let's hear that good, classic Eastern European candor. That's what we really need. Just let them fly, bro. Fuck these people. Fuck them.
Fight without our help. And he doesn't want to be in a proxy war. Piers, you keep pointing out.
He doesn't want to be in a proxy war? What do you call the support of Israel? Isn't that all about Iran? Because if you say no, what would she say for that? Why do we support Israel? Isn't that kind of helping our proxy there against Iran? Well, no, it's not. Oh, then why the fuck are we helping them? Well, obviously, Israel's a good geostrategic ally against who? Against the Palestinians? Well, no. Against Syria? That government doesn't understand. Well, no. Against Iran? That kind of sounds like a proxy war.
Donald Trump hates war. He wants peace. This is laudable and admirable. And I think what he sees Zelensky's move as being is 3 times President Zelensky refused this minerals deal, refused to sign it. He keeps asking for the kind of security guarantees that we only give NATO allies. Zelensky is trying to run a circumvention of NATO by creating a mini NATO between the...
Oh. So is Israel in NATO? I would. Actually, I can't. I got to be careful. I'll become anti-Semitic. I will if I were to listen to people like this for too long. I didn't think Israel was in NATO, right? Didn't we literally help them when Iran started shooting missiles at them? I don't remember if we actually intercepted some or if we just provided a fuck ton of intelligence and Saudi Arabia and Jordan helped intercept them. We might have actually intercepted some. I don't remember. But I don't think Israel's in NATO, right?
U.S. and Ukraine, and we will not stand for that. We do not want to be in war with Russia because that will be the end of the universe. That will be a nuclear war. And President Trump sees this very clearly. Yes, of course, from a moral point of view, Ukraine are the victims of a heinous, horrific attack on their sovereignty. But how do we end the bloodshed? There's only one way to do it, and it is a negotiated peace along economic...
Surrender, thank you, yeah. This is the state of politics in the world right now. This is like a joke conversation. First of all 3 of these people should be on the fucking... I can't say it, I'll get banned. But they should be tried for they're traitors. All these 3 people are traitors. Okay. Where is I don't know who's more mindfucked here. So you got this guy who's like I guess he served with some of the Ukrainian military. I don't know what this means. British veteran of the Ukrainian army. He might have been like a foreign. I think you can go and serve in their military as a foreign soldier or whatever as part of Ukrainian military. And this lady is an actual, I think, Ukrainian politician. And you're listening to these 3 insane people. You're listening to these 3 insane fucking lunatics And then when you go online, it's just supposed to be like the Mossad controlling everything. Where are they at? Where the fuck is all the Jewish propaganda controlling everything? And the military industrial complex? Where are those people? How are we talking about Jews controlling the world and fucking, like, I feel like the Kremlin has more control. The Kremlin has more control over the fucking Jews than Tel Aviv does, or Jerusalem now, I guess you would say. What? It's Qatar and Russia. They run it all. But we're talking about the Jews and the Ukrainians somehow. Who knows? Like, it's like so ridiculous on so many levels. Like, there's so many things I want to say, and then every time I think of what to say, there's like one more thing that's even more ridiculous. It's more ridiculous. It's more ridiculous. It's just all so ridiculous on so many different levels. It's like recursively, infinitely ridiculous without even being recursive, because you don't have to be recursive. You can just go to a million different things that are all unique. It's like pi. It's like it's a constant that repeats, or that never repeats but goes on forever with dog shit rationale for every single thing that's being said. It's just insane. Whatever.
We end the bloodshed. There's only one way to do it, and it is a negotiated peace along economic.
But we have given up our nuclear weapons to you guys. We have given it up in 1994 for
I'm
your
sorry, but the American people are done funding this war. That is the reality, and you have to accept it.
We have given the nuclear weapons for your security guarantees. Are those not worth anything? We were supposed to be a nuclear state.
Oh, sorry. You just brought up something that was more than 2 years old that isn't part of the NPC programming, so none of them have ever heard about that before. Nice try, though. Don't worry. They'll all ignore it, though, and just go on to the next point. And Piers will either allow them to escape, or she'll make the debate mistake of not crucifying them on this one point, but nobody will respond to this. Will they? Or will she just keep saying, I'm sorry, whatever?
State. And America, United Kingdom, and Russia promised that if we will give up our nuclear weapons, we will be protected. And so here we are right now at the point when people who offered and promised to do that right now are giving up and saying, so sorry that you have done this, so sorry that you're requiring security guarantees that we cannot give you. But this is the one thing that we didn't hear from Donald Trump. How can he make sure that Putin will keep his part of the bargain? We have seen by the fact since 2019.
I do think that is now the crux of this whole debate, which is
Piers is going to bail them out. Thank God.
The security guarantee is going to be. Zelensky, again, when I interviewed him, made it clear that he doesn't expect to be given full membership of NATO. He almost conceded that point. He concedes the point that the current territorial situation, it is likely we have to freeze things on those lines. He didn't want to give up sovereignty, but he was trying to get it back politically later. But he accepts that we are where we are with the war. I thought he was very honest in my interview with him. But Rob, let me ask you about this. Part of all this, people are concerned that this is like a reshaping of the whole relationship between America, NATO, and Europe. And it was exacerbated by something that J.D. Vance said in an interview with Sean Hannity. Let's take a look.
If you want to actually ensure that Vladimir Putin does not invade Ukraine again, the very best security guarantee is to give Americans economic upside in the future of Ukraine. That is a way better security guarantee than...
we already had economic upside in the future of Ukraine. What do you mean? You don't think we ever traded with them? Did we not? Was there like a trade prohibition on Ukraine? Why were they called the world's breadbasket if they were eating all the fucking bread? Like what?
20,000 troops from some random country that hasn't fought a war in 30 or 40 years. The security guarantee and also guarantee, the very best security guarantee is to give Americans economic upside in the future of Ukraine. That is a way better security guarantee than 20,000 troops from some random country that hasn't fought a war in 30 or 40 years.
Also,
the security guarantee.
All of this is so self-defeating too. God, I hate these guys, dude. They must like fucking lock themselves in rooms with they've got to get like Gorka and like the old Alex Jones, like the fattest fucking losers possible, and they just fill this room up with the most nauseous fucking farts for hours, and then after they're fucking high on that, they come out, they just say the most retarded shit. Because he's saying, what's the best security guarantee? What is it? It's US people on the ground? Why is that the best security guarantee? Well, because then they won't attack? Why? Because of nuclear war? So if we put US troops on the ground, that would be a deterrent for them ever attacking? If that's the case, then why don't we just put US troops there right the fuck now? Like, how does this even make sense? Like, I thought you said you wanted to avoid World War III and nuclear war, but you're talking about stationing U.S. personnel right on Russia's border? How is that any better than just having Ukraine in NATO formally? Like, isn't that the same fucking thing? Like that, if what you're saying were to play out exactly as you say it would play out, then that would be an even stronger guarantee of security than what NATO could even theoretically offer, or whatever security guarantee that Ukraine is looking for. Like, it's just so stupid.
And also the economic guarantee for Ukraine is to rebuild the country and ensure that America has a long-term interest.
Now, this caused a lot of outcry, not least in the UK, because obviously the two countries so far who've indicated they would send troops are the UK and France. And both of them have been heavily involved in military action with America, certainly within the last 30 years. Iraq, Afghanistan. A lot of outrage in the UK. Graham Stewart, military action with America.
True.
Certainly within the last 30 years. Iraq, Afghanistan.
At America's behest. Remember that. It was for America that requested it.
Afghanistan. A lot of outrage in the UK. Graham Stewart, an elected member of Parliament, said we have to consider the possibility that President Trump is a Russian asset. If so, Trump's acquisition is the crowning achievement of Putin's FSB career, and Europe is on its own. So, look, I don't think that is the case at all. However, was it ill-advised of J.D. Vance to use that phraseology about a random country which hasn't fought for 30 years, given the two countries so far that have said they'll put troops there? Both have done so.
No, I don't believe so. And I think that the reason that so many people are shocked and outraged and all of this stuff. So I want to tell you, Piers, there's this circle that happens, all right? And we see it over and over again. This is what happens. President Trump actually stands up for America and American interests. If there's President Trump or his Vice President Vance or somebody that is supposed to speak for this country. So they actually stand up to American interests when the rest of the world is used to us being weak and, in Benny's words, basically rolling over. Then there's all of this outrage from the usual suspects. There's outrage from people in these different countries. There's outrage from the people that want things to continue to be the way that they have been for the past 20 to 30 years that have gotten us into the geopolitical position that we are in right now. So there's that outrage cycle. And then what ends up happening is that what Trump says or what J.D. Vance says, whatever the surrogate says, ends up being true, factual, and accurate. Think about the fact that everybody was outraged about the Oval Office meeting with Zelensky about this mineral deal, and now Zelensky is all ready to sign this deal, right? So we see this over and over again.
Is he though?
Piers, a lot of people are going to be shocked. A lot of people are going to be surprised. A lot of people are going to be outraged. This world needs shock and surprise and outrage from this country because they need to know that we are no longer a country that is just going to roll over for the rest of the planet. We are no longer a country that is just going to send hundreds of billions of dollars to our tax.
But aren't we kind of just rolling over for the rest of the planet? Didn't we roll over in Afghanistan under Trump? Didn't we roll over for Turkey in the Middle East? Didn't we roll over for Russia in Ukraine? Aren't we rolling over right now for Israel? Wait.
Taxpayer dollars all across the world. It's just not going to happen anymore, Piers. And you're talking to somebody that is a fairly new Republican. You know, Trump 1.0 is what brought me into the fold. So I can understand where a lot of Americans right now are frustrated with the status quo. So you're not talking to somebody that is just used to how things have been going for the past 20, 30, 40 years. I'm somebody that came into the fold back during Trump 1.0 because I knew that there needed to be a change in this country. So I am not shocked by these things. I am not surprised by these things. I am delighted by these things because your other guest made a analogy earlier. He said that Trump is taking a sledgehammer to everything. What has been happening over the past 20, 30, 40 years in this world needs a sledgehammer taken to it because we cannot continue to survive in this way. Not only can the world not continue to operate in this way, but I know certainly America, the country that I put on a uniform and fought for, the country that I love, the country that I've sacrificed so much for, and by the way, has provided me more opportunity than somebody who came where I come from could ever dream of. We are done with this. And it is time.
Okay. Wait a second. Hold on. Please don't tell me he's like of African-American descent born in the United States of America. Tell me, please, that he has like an African immigrant family. He didn't just say that, did he? Hold on.
You to operate in this way, but I know certainly America, the country that I put on a uniform and fought for, the country that I love, the country that I've sacrificed so much for, and by the way, has provided me more opportunity than somebody who came where I come from could ever dream of. We are done with this.
Wait, hold on. Where does he come from? Rob Smith. Can't cancel Rob Smith is the podcaster. He is a black gay army veteran who's proudly free of being owned by the radical left. But don't call him far right either. Oh my God. Oh, kill me. If I ever have a show where I describe myself this way, please kill me. On March 18th, 2024, I was betrayed, announces he identifies as politically homeless. He left the Republican Party. This is Fuentes' number one enemy? Does he have like a Rob Smith podcaster Wikipedia? English, this is probably not it, huh? A decorated Iraq War veteran, Rob Smith served for 5 years in the U.S. Army, including 2 tours in the Middle East during Operation Army. Came out as a conservative via profile in the Daily Mail in the summer of 2018 in response to the outrage culture of the left. He's appeared on Fox News, One America News Network, Newsmax, NBC News, CNN, and The Blaze. Just as a heads up, if you're not aware of it, one of the pro-slavery, like super far right, I'll say instead of Nazi talking points, is that black people that had a history of slavery in the U.S. should be grateful to be here, because if they would have been raised in fucking Africa where they came from, they wouldn't have had the same opportunity. So in a way, slavery was a blessing for them, People are saying that maybe when he says from where somebody like me comes from, he just means like a poor neighborhood. I would never give him that much charity. I would never give him that much charity.
I love the country that I've sacrificed so much for, and by the way, has provided me more opportunity than somebody who came where I come from could ever dream of. We are done with this.
I wouldn't give him any charity on that one. Fuck it. No way.
And it is time for a new America.
Okay, I mean, Mesa, I could see you sort of grimacing as you heard some of that, but the reality is a lot of Americans...
He was raised in a liberal working class family in Ohio. Okay, so he's just American. Okay. Based. This tweet triggered me so much. Stephanie Taylor, looking at Elon Musk. This is what he must be thinking. Who designed this? Too many columns, structurally redundant, waste of materials. Look at those Muppets and their matching pink. How stupid. Acoustics could be improved by at least 17%. Should install hexagonal sound panels. I wonder what's happening on X. The myth of the autistic autodidact genius is probably one of the most damaging cultural myths created in the last 50 years. He's thinking about ketamine nasal spray, and the best way to swing his dead-eyed child towards a sniper's line of sight. Maybe some suboptimal Diablo build. Bro. Oh shit, that's fucking true. We should put boots on the ground in Ukraine, and we should be fighting a full-scale war against Russia in Ukraine. And when people ask why, the answer should be because we want to prevent NATO from being closer to the Russian border. And if Russia is allowed to annex territory in Ukraine, hasn't Russia just effectively moved their borders closer to NATO? That's why we can't let it happen.